Oh, hello, I did not see you there filming. And welcome to the channel if you're new, and if you're an old subscriber, good day to you. I am Bragi, and I'm indeed a Viking as I hold my spear. Now, today's story is an old Danish story, and it is called The Merman's Sock. And we all love a good merman story, don't we? Especially if they're from Denmark, home of those brave Danes known for the Dane axe, and of course for invading England from the 9th centuries. Now, many years ago, there was a fisherman. He was a very proud man. If he did not have a farm and he lived on the coast, then you would find fish as a good source of food. And this is what he did throughout his whole entire life. He was not one to go a Viking. He was always too busy fishing. And one day, he thought to himself, he woke up, it was a Thursday morning probably, Thursday, the day of thunder, and he thought, well, I'm going to go fishing today. The sea is calm, and it looks like a very good day to go fishing. And so he got his small boat ready, a long ship, in this case a longboat, as it was much smaller. And he was a fisherman who fished using a line with lots of hooks on it. Now, some people, some men, they use a net to catch fish. And we all know where the net came from when the gods of the Amaze invented the net to catch Loki after he had killed Balder the Beautiful and had turned himself into a salmon. But as we say on the channel, that is another story. And so our man, the fisherman, he decided to go out. He got 2 oars and he got his line ready with some bait, and he went out to a place a few leagues out in the sea after some rowing and rowing. It was very hard work. And he put the line down and he had a very good morning fishing. He caught quite a few big fish. That was very good food. He could sell some on and keep some for himself to eat that day, and the rest of the fish he would dry in a kind of a outbuilding where the sea air would dry the fish. But the waves and the sea became rougher, and the waves and the sea started to rise, and he knew that there was a storm coming. It was not a good idea to be out when there was a storm. And so something strange happened. In the distance he saw a man with a grey beard and long grey hair riding a wave, and he was heading towards him, and he thought, well, this is most peculiar. I've been fishing for many a year, many a season, and I've never seen a man riding a wave. And the man got closer and closer to him, and the fisherman, the old wise man, he knew that this was a merman. And the merman became closer and closer until they could speak to each other. And the merman said, it is very cold out here in the sea today, for I have lost one of my socks, and I am not happy, and I am cold because of it. Well, our fisherman, he was a Viking and a generous man. He thought, well, I've got some socks and I got 2, I'll give him one of my socks. And so he took his sea boot off, and he took off a sock, and he threw it to the merman. And the merman, well, he disappeared and dived into the sea, and the fisherman managed to get back and row back in time, where he rowed in the waves, and he rowed, and he rowed, and he rowed, until he came to the beach, and he landed safely. And he thought to himself, well, I was very lucky there, for the waves are getting taller and higher, and there's definitely a storm brewing. And now some time passed. He spent some days drying some fish he had caught, and he ate very heartily from the other fish he caught. And he thought to himself, well, a few weeks have passed, and I've not been able to get out, for the seas have been too rough and too unstable. There have been a few storms since then, and he was not quite ready to go out. But then one day he woke up again, and the seas were calm, and he thought, ha ha, now is the time for me to go out and to go fishing. And this is what he did. He got his boat ready, he made sure that it was all sturdy and not leaking. After all, if you're going to go fishing, you need a steady and sturdy vessel. And he got his oars, he had 2 of them, and he got his line ready, his fishing line, he checked it. He had to replace a couple of hooks, so he did that. And then he thought to himself, oh, what a fool I am, I've forgotten the bait. So he went back to an old barrel near his longhouse and took out some bait and put it in what you call a scrip bag, a leather bag which is watertight. And he got on the boat. And there, of course, he realised that he couldn't go out to sea without pushing his boat out first, so he pushed his boat out and then got in the boat. He was very tired, it's been a long night the night before, drinking mead with some friends. And he started to row out in the sea again. And he rowed, and he rowed, and he rowed, until he came to a place where he knew the fishing was good. And all morning and all early afternoon he fished with his line, which went deep, deep, deep into the ocean. And he had a very good day's fishing. He had caught some very big fish. When he got them back on the line, off the line into the boat, he got a club, banged them on the head so that they knocked him out. After all, you don't want fish moving about in your boat and trying to escape. And, you know, he'd been very happy. He thought to himself, well, I got another 5 or 6 hours of sunlight. He looked up, he could tell the sun, where the sun was. It was a clear day, with hardly a cloud in sight. And so, some more time passed, and the seas started to get rough. But all of a sudden, something supernatural happened. For something supernatural happened. For the merman he had given one of his socks to appeared and put both hands on his boat. And he said these words to the fisherman: "To the man who gave me the sock, you must now suddenly turn back. For over Norway there is thunder." And so the man realised that seeing a merman was an omen of a storm. For after all, there is thunder over Norway to the north, a few hundred leagues away, and it will soon come down south to the coast of Denmark. And so this is what he did. He thought of the wise word the merman said, and he remembered tales of wise men who say that when a merman is seen, it is often a sign of a storm. And so he rowed back to the coastline. He rowed and he rowed and he rowed back, and eventually he landed on the beach. And just as he did that, there was lightning and thunder, and the waves picked up and became bigger and taller. And it is said that on that day many a men died and drowned in the sea, for they did not hear and see the words of the merman. A terrible loss to any village when men are lost at sea, and something that has happened throughout time. And the fisherman, well, he was very grateful. From that day on, whenever he saw a merman or anything strange in the sea, he always went back home to the coastline where it was safe. And he had a few more seasons of fishing, for he was still middle-aged, and he grew long in the beard, old and wise. The end of the tale of the merman's sock. Now, there is another version of this tale where it was not a sock he gave him, but it is called the merman's glove, where the fisherman, went out and saw the first merman, indeed in this case the same merman, and he said, "I am cold, for I have lost one of my gloves." And the fisherman, had some good leather gloves and gave him a glove. So it's always nice to see a different telling of the same story, and I do hope you've enjoyed this tale. It is a new one on the channel, and it's a goodbye from me. But before I go, as you know, I have to finish off the old video. If you're new, then go and subscribe. Go and click the subscription bell, and don't forget, click the bar first to subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends and share us on Facebook and Reddit. But I know myself and Eggle would be very happy if you do that for us. And don't forget, when you're sailing in the sea and you see a merman, take it as an omen. And let's just talk quickly, where did the old merman thing and mermaids come from? It is often said that sailors saw strange creatures in the sea. We will call them dolphins or sea lions, and they mistook them as merfolk. Goodbye, and stay safe and well during these times. I'm going now. I'm off to go and find a man with a cow, for I need some milk to make some glue. I've already got stale beer and ash from my fire from the night before, but I've run out of milk. I want to go and get some, so I'm off to go and see a man with a cow.